What's up, guys? This is Brian J's Nerd Talk, and these are my thoughts of the Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso rematch. You know, Valentina Shevchenko is my favorite fighter in the UFC and MMA, and I will say that I don't talk about women's MMA anymore, and I will explain that in my next video in the next couple of minutes, but. It was a fantastic fight. It was a great fight. It could have gone either way. I had it 2 rounds apiece. I gave Alexa Grasso round 2 and round 4, and I gave her round 5. I think the judge scoring it a 10-8 round was a little much, even though the last 2 minutes of the round were very one-sided. Like, Grasso completely shut down Valentina. She was landing ground and pound. She had 2 submission attempts. She almost finished Valentina twice, and she was landing more strikes in the last 2 minutes of the round. She was doing well in the exchanges and defeat, except in round 5. Like, round 5 was like the one round where Valentina was doing well and winning on the feet. Alexa Grasso was doing well on the feet in the first round, even though I thought Valentina edged it, and I gave her the round. Round 2 was mostly Alexa Grasso, and she got a knockdown. And when she got taken down by Valentina, she was landing way more strikes on her back. Like, Valentina, when she's fighting someone who knows how to fight, she has no ground and pound when she has top position, like, at all. Like, she didn't know what to do against Grasso. And, 5-6 years ago, I said that Valentina has a high fight IQ, and I have been completely wrong. She does not have a high fight IQ at all. Like, Valentina is a great fighter, but if I'm a fighter and my striking is objectively better than my grappling against fighters, let me stick to striking, right? Like, that's just common sense. But Valentina doesn't follow any common sense whatsoever. She feels she needs to grapple and wrestle when she is losing the grappling and the wrestling against fighters that have been doing grappling almost as long as she has. Like, Alexa Grasso does a lot of jiu-jitsu and grappling on her back. She doesn't do wrestling. Santos does that too. And it's like you're taking on women that is their expertise, and you're not successful against what they're doing because they're more prepared for you because they've been preparing for you for like a number of years. And even though Valentina was a better all-around fighter than Joanna, I will say that Joanna had a higher fight IQ, because Joanna realized that her grappling sucks. She's not a wrestler, so she's going to stick to striking. And the things that Joanna learned about grappling, which were great, was how to defend against takedowns and submission attempts and how to get back to her feet. Use her back to move to the cage and then use the cage to get back up to her feet. And Joanna would tire out wrestlers and grapplers like Claudia Gadelha, Carla Esparza, and many others. And then by round 3, they're very tired. And then Joanna is landing way more strikes and dominating the last 3 rounds, or maybe getting a TKO and clearly winning a decision. Like, against Jessica Andrade is just a perfect example, because Jessica kept trying to take Joanna down. Joanna kept getting back up. And then Jessica kept trying to pick her up and slam her, but Joanna was defending against takedowns when she was getting picked up in the air. So when Jessica would try to pick her up and slam her, Joanna would like use her legs and her feet to kind of like stretch out, and then she would land on her knees, and she would just get right back up. Valentina has no common sense whatsoever. She doesn't even have that level of common sense or a fight IQ. When she's losing grappling and she chooses to grapple when she's winning on the feet. And if she had just kept this whole fight on the feet, she would have won round 5. Instead, she went for a takedown attempt and then went to like a stupid semi head and arm throw, and then Grasso took her back and basically won the round. And, she did the same thing against Amanda Nunes, and she only does this dumb shit when she's struggling against an opponent. But this is why I've given up talking about women's MMA, because it's just too frustrating. It's just too frustrating. Like, it's just ridiculous. I do love Tatiana Suarez. She is my favorite fighter, but I just can't deal with this anymore. So I just spend most of my time talking about nerd shit. It's just I can't deal with this. But I'll make a video on that after this. Talk about what started this downward trend in women's MMA. And it all started in May of last year. Yes, it's just one fight, but it was the worst women's MMA fight of all time, and it was the worst championship fight in the history of the UFC. And it ironically happened in the one division in women's MMA that is supposed to be the best division in women's MMA, and had the worst fight of all time. But anyways, this is Brian J's Nerd Talk, and yeah, these are my thoughts on Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso. My post-fight analysis, and I'll talk to y'all later.